Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Luna is basking in the glow of pregnancy on The Bold and the Beautiful. The mom-to-be has a lot of preparing to do before giving birth to her and Will's baby. But could baby Spencer be arriving much sooner than expected? Luna claims she's pregnant with Will's baby. Luna slept with Will at the end of August. She recently mentioned her baby is the size of a grape. The timing of Luna's pregnancy feels off. Luna's Lisa Yamada pregnancy has been a hot topic in the B&B community. Luna slept with Will Crew Morrow on the August 21st episode, then discovered she was pregnant on September 19th. All it took was one time for Luna to secure her connection to Will. However, some fans are skeptical about Will being the father, especially after a recent clue. On the October 6th episode, Luna was reading a pregnancy book and learned her baby is the size of a grape. B&B fans immediately did their research and shared the interesting information on Reddit. Just searched, and an unborn baby gets to the size of a grape at 9 weeks. Luna just said her baby is that size. So unless the writers are messing with history, she's farther along in her pregnancy than she's claiming, wrote one viewer. Since things tend to move fast in soap operas, most fans just shrugged it off. Soap magic, replied one user. Being factual is not in the minds of the writers. Luna will be at 9 months by Christmas, joked another fan. The comment about the size of Luna's baby has definitely raised eyebrows. Whether it's a hint of a twist to come remains to be seen. But in the meantime, a pregnant Luna is making herself comfy at Bill's Don Diamond mansion. There are still many months to go in Luna's pregnancy, but given how fast things move, baby Spencer could be arriving sooner than imagined. Luna expects this baby will bring her and Will closer together. However, her plans will be thwarted by an unexpected shocker. While an upcoming DNA test may prove Will is the father, the baby's birth will unravel another paternity storyline. A medical crisis for Luna's baby will have her finally confessing the truth and revealing her child's real father. Could Remy, Christian Weissman, be the baby's father? Or could another B&B character have gotten Luna pregnant? The Bold and the Beautiful has once again managed to ignite a storm of fan debate, this time over what seems like one of the most deceptively simple questions a soap can pose. Exactly how far along is Luna Nozawa in her pregnancy? Viewers have taken to social media in droves trying to make sense of the timeline, and the more they analyze it, the less it seems to add up. The confusion isn't surprising. B&B has a long tradition of playing fast and loose with time when it suits the drama. But Luna's story has raised that quirk to a new level, leaving even longtime fans scratching their heads. When Luna first discovered she was pregnant, the storyline hit with emotional impact. A young woman caught between love, family, and uncertainty, faced with a life-changing decision. The scripts emphasized shock and fear, and Lisa Yamada's performance was widely praised for the authenticity she brought to those early scenes. But as the weeks turned into months, the show's pacing began to drift. One episode might suggest that only a few weeks had passed since the big reveal, while another would drop hints that Luna was already deep into her second trimester. Costuming, dialogue, and even background references have contradicted one another, creating a timeline that seems to defy logic. Some viewers have joked that Luna's pregnancy exists in a soap time bubble, where months compress into days and days stretch into seasons. But others are genuinely frustrated because it affects the emotional stakes of the story. If the pregnancy is further along than the characters admit, it changes how we interpret every conversation Luna has had with RJ, Zend, and Poppy. The question of paternity, one of the most explosive threads in the current B&B landscape, depends entirely on when conception occurred. Fans who love to map out storylines frame by frame have been rewatching episodes to trace wardrobe choices, dialogue clues, and production design to determine whether the show is quietly skipped forward or simply lost track of its own timeline. The debate reached a fever pitch after a recent episode where Luna referenced feeling the baby kick, a development that usually signals the halfway mark in pregnancy, while another character casually mentioned that only a few weeks had passed since the initial test. Reddit threads, fan blogs, and soap podcasts lit up with theories. Some argue that the writers are deliberately keeping things ambiguous to heighten suspense around the father's identity. Others believe it's a continuity oversight born from the show's breakneck filming schedule, where scenes are often shot weeks apart and rewritten on the fly. Still others suspect that the production team may be setting up a future time jump, using Luna's pregnancy as a narrative anchor. What complicates matters further is that Luna's storyline has become emotionally intertwined with almost every major family on the canvas. Her romance with RJ, her complicated history with Zend, and her evolving relationship with her mother Poppy have all been written in overlapping arcs, meaning that any shift in the pregnancy timeline ripples through multiple storylines. When Luna appears visibly more pregnant in one episode and nearly unchanged in the next, fans can't help but speculate that it's either a deliberate creative choice or a symptom of production inconsistency. The situation has even sparked lighthearted memes comparing Luna's ever-changing bump to other infamous soap pregnancies that lasted either impossibly long or seemed to resolve overnight. Longtime viewers recall similar timeline quirks: Brooke's pregnancy with Hope, Steffi's overlapping romances, even the infamous instances where babies were born and aged rapidly for storyline convenience. But Luna's arc feels unique because it's happening in real time in the social media era where audiences notice every detail. The fan community has become a detective agency, dissecting everything from Luna's wardrobe. Is she wearing looser clothes now? To subtle dialogue cues. Did RJ just say months? To figure out what's really happening. What keeps people so invested is that Lisa Yamada's performance sells every beat as emotionally real, even when the logistics aren't. Her portrayal of Luna's fear, her uncertainty about motherhood, and her tenderness in scenes with RJ all ground the story, making viewers care deeply even as they question the timeline. There's also a larger conversation happening about how B&B handles realism versus drama. Soaps have always manipulated time to fit emotional arcs, but today's audience, accustomed to serialized streaming shows with tight continuity, expects consistency. Some fans see Luna's muddled pregnancy as part of B&B's old-school charm, while others call for a clearer narrative structure. Either way, the conversation proves that the show still has the power to get everyone talking. Behind the scenes, speculation runs rampant about where this story is heading. If Luna is further along than she's admitting, could the show be gearing up for a shocking early birth or a dramatic paternity twist? Or is the confusion simply a side effect of B&B's compressed storytelling style, where multiple plotlines move at different speeds? Insiders have hinted that the creative team is aware of the chatter and might use it to their advantage, turning fan speculation into fuel for future drama. That would be quintessential Bold and the Beautiful, turning continuity errors into cliffhangers. The timing issue also affects character motivations. If Luna's pregnancy is barely a few weeks along, her hesitation to reveal the father makes sense. If she's well into her second trimester, her secrecy feels heavier, even deceptive. RJ's protectiveness, Zenda's frustration, and Poppy's anxiety all read differently depending on that unseen calendar. For many fans, that uncertainty keeps the storyline alive because every new episode feels like a clue in a mystery rather than a straight line toward resolution. Yet others argue that too much ambiguity risks alienating viewers who crave payoff. The debate over Luna's pregnancy length has therefore become a microcosm of what makes B and B simultaneously addictive and exasperating: its willingness to bend logic for emotion. The show's writers excel at making viewers feel every heartbreak, even when timelines blur beyond recognition. Lisa Yamada, meanwhile, has turned that chaos into opportunity, using each shift in tone and pacing to explore different facets of Luna's personality, from wide-eyed vulnerability to quiet determination. Her subtle reactions, especially in scenes with her mother, capture the surreal disorientation of a woman caught between truth and secrecy, love and fear. Whether the pregnancy is 3 months or 7, the emotional truth remains. Luna's world is spinning, and she's doing her best to hold it together. Still, fans can't resist trying to pin down the numbers. Some have even compiled unofficial Luna pregnancy timelines online, cross-referencing air dates with holidays mentioned on the show to estimate her gestation period. Others have gone full forensic mode, analyzing behind-the-scenes photos for costume continuity. It's become a fandom sport, the modern equivalent of soap opera sleuthing, and the writers can't have missed the buzz.